Demonstrator from the scenic rim in Queensland. I'm a couple of minutes late, so I do apologise. I was having a few technical difficulties when I was going to jump on this morning, and of course, everything all happens in that last couple of minutes. So I'm here. I'm coming to you live from my craft room. It is Monday, the 4th of March, 2024. I cannot believe that we are already in March. 2 months have just flown by. Our celebration was a really awesome celebration, and I had many new team members join my team during celebration, and I'm super excited about all of our new Wild Heart crafters. But it's a super, super fun time to join at any time. I need to tell you that. So we always have a starter kit. Just every now and then it gets sweetened a little bit to be a little bit more enticing. But welcome, everybody. I had a great weekend. We were crafting. Matthew's on here saying, good morning, long time no see, because Matthew was at my 2-day craft retreat on the weekend. So we had a big weekend. We had our 2-day craft retreat. I hold 2-day craft retreats 3 times a year here in the Scenic Rim, but you can also get a retreat in a box. So you can also get what everyone gets delivered to you in a box, no matter where you live in Australia. So it doesn't matter where you live in Australia. It doesn't matter whether you're a hobby demo. It doesn't matter whether you buy under somebody else. You can actually get your hands on my 2-day retreats, which are super, super awesome. And they come with full instructions, color printed instruction, PDF instructions. And when you get a retreat in a box, it comes in your box. All ready to go. So I actually have a couple of boxes that I need to get out and get delivered in the next day or so for the people that ordered their retreats in a box. But it was a super fun event. We had a great time. I had a lovely weekend. I absolutely love hanging out with all my crafty friends at my 2-day retreat. So it's been a fun, awesome weekend, and I'm a little bit frazzled, a little bit tired after the weekend, but we've had a great weekend, and it makes it all worth it. It's the part of my job that I absolutely love the most, is being able to hang out and craft with everybody. So who have we got on here this morning? We have got Margaret. Good morning, Margaret. Welcome. Jill, welcome. Lorraine, lovely to see you again. Sheila from Christchurch in New Zealand, welcome, Sheila. I'm so excited that you decided to actually join Stampin' Up. So Sheila was on my I Love Stamping event just recently, and she decided to join Stampin' Up. Good morning, Jeanette. Welcome. Lynn, welcome. Janice, welcome. Dell, welcome from my old hometown area. Julie, welcome from the wonderful Victoria. Matthew, lovely to see you again. Karen, welcome. Lovely to see you. It's good afternoon for Karen. What time is it for you there, Karen? Ina, welcome. Lovely to see you. Beryl, good morning. Lovely to see you jump on. Christine, welcome. Paulette, welcome. What have we got? Deborah, welcome from down Victoria way. Hello, Facebook user from Canada. Okay, you're obviously in one of my private groups. I can't see what your name is, but welcome from Canada. Marlene, welcome from Wisconsin. So welcome. It is so lovely to see how far these videos reach. It is awesome. Who else have we got? Sherry from Montana. Welcome. Lovely to see you joining me. Diane from Brit MN. I don't know where that is, but welcome. Brit MN. Can you please elaborate a little bit more on that, Diane, where you're from? Okay, welcome. Welcome. Stamp with Janelle. Welcome. Okay, all right. So I'm going to do a great project this morning using the Thoughtful Expressions bundle, which is super, super awesome. Hello from Washington State. Welcome. Stamping with Chaos. Darla, welcome. Minnesota. Okay, welcome, Diane. Thank you. Pauline from Melbourne. I hope you're doing all right in hospital, Pauline, and I'm glad that my videos help you not feel so alone when you're in hospital. So I'm so glad that that actually helps you, Pauline. Okay, all right. So as I said, we're going to use the awesome Thoughtful Expressions bundle now. I'm telling you, even if you don't like The hummingbird, I can tell you, the dies are exactly what I said in my caption, are to die for, because they are super, super stunning. The dies alone, I know I've had a lot of customers and a lot of team members that have actually ordered the dies, because the dies are beautiful nesting dies and you get so many dies. So it's really, really an awesome set of dies, but the stamp set is gorgeous as well. So I want to showcase that as well. So welcome Kay from Carolina. Welcome. Welcome. Awesome to see you all. Okay, so let's get to a few things just to do with a little business that I need to get through beforehand. So I'll pop that aside. I'm actually going to find the Thoughtful Expressions bundle in the catalog so you know where it is. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about a few things that I have going on in my business at the moment. So I have my Creative Card Club, and thank you to all of the people that have subscribed to my Creative Card Club. I'm super, super excited about the Creative Card Club. This will be the second month running that we will be doing the Creative Card Club. And I can tell you, it has been a really awesome, fun club. So the Creative Card Club is $50 a month to get it delivered to your doorstep. So it doesn't matter where you live in Australia, you can get it delivered to your doorstep. Or it's $45 to attend in person here in my craft studio in the Scenic Rim. But you get a quarter pack of designer series paper, you get cardstock, you get some ribbon, you get a full pack of embellishments, you get a full PDF instruction sheet to make 4 gorgeous cards. And for the month of March, we are actually doing the Perennial Lavender Suite. So now the thing is, you will need the stamp sets. If you're getting it the to-go version that's going to get delivered to your doorstep, you will need the stamp sets. And I'm using both bundles. I'm using the Perennial Postage and the Perennial Lavender sets out of the suite, out of the Perennial Lavender suite. So I will be using both of those stamps and dies. Nothing is die cut. Nothing is cut at all. You will get full sheets of cardstock, but you will have enough supplies to actually create your 4 cards and create many, many more cards after the event. So now you must register to get in with the Perennial Lavender Suite one for the month of March. You need to subscribe before the 10th of March. So you've got 6 more days to subscribe to get the Perennial Lavender Suite. And then after the 10th, we will move on to the April Creative Card Club. Okay, so all registrations need to be done before the 10th of March or on the 10th of March, but no later than the 10th of March. And it takes you, the link is in the show more box down below on YouTube, and it's also in the description of this video. It will take you straight through to the payment section to set up your subscription on PayPal. Now, and I think from memory, you do not need a PayPal account. It will actually just let you pay by credit card, and it will automatically take that payment off the day that you set up your subscription. That date each month, that's when your payment will come out. My card buffet is open for registration for the 13th of April. I've already got quite a few ladies registered already, so I'm super excited, and I only opened the registration on the weekend. So card buffet is $50. You come, you create 8 cards. Now you can actually get the kit delivered to you in the post, but you will need all of the bundles that I will be using on the 13th of April. And I will actually let you know what those bundles are. But it's $50. You create 8 cards. When you come in person, it is from 9 o'clock until 9 a.m. in the morning until 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I do all the hard work for you. I do all the die cutting, all of the card base cutting, the layer cutting. I do it all for you. So it's a really great, all you need to do is stamp and assemble. So you really only need to bring your tools and your adhesives and your clear blocks. I supply everything else in person. So it's a great time. Now, I do have an offer that if you attend in person and you get another friend, you bring a friend along with you that has not attended any of my card buffets before or any of my classes before, if you bring along a friend, you will get 5, the choice of 5 of my beautiful handmade cards to take home with you that are yours to keep. And your friend will also get 5 beautiful cards to take home as well. So you will get to pick out of my card collection 5 cards each if you bring along a friend. So for yourself and your friend, you will both get 5 cards to choose. My 2-day craft retreat. As I said, we just had our March retreat on the weekend. My next one is the 6th and 7th of July. So if you've seen a lot of the snippets of what we did and what we got up to on the weekend and you want to be a part of it, then by all means, it's a great holiday. You can fly into Brisbane. You can either hire a car from Brisbane, or there is actually even transport that comes from the Brisbane airport back to Beaudesert. And there's accommodation. So the first thing what you need to do is, if you want to attend in July, you need to book your accommodation. We have 3 motels in Beaudesert and they book out really quickly. I do have them that they hold the rooms for me. So you only have to say that you're coming to Donnag's 2-day craft retreat and they will have rooms available for you. But you need to book your accommodation. I can't stress that enough. You need to book your accommodation first up, and they don't charge you for your accommodation first up, so it's okay. You can cancel at any time and it's free cancellation. So please, if you're interested in my 2-day craft retreat, it's a great getaway. You could come for a 3 or a 4-day weekend and have a great time with a group of your friends. And it costs $220 to attend in person. It costs $245 to get it delivered via the post, because you have to pay the $25 for postage. But it's a super fun, awesome event. You get about $180 worth of product that I actually purchase and give back to you. So once you register and you've paid, it is a non-refundable event, because I actually purchased the product. As soon as you've paid, I purchase the product for you, and I hold it here ready for you to actually attend on the 6th and the 7th of July. If you are wanting a retreat in a box, they normally go out the week after I've held my retreat, because I always want to make sure that I've got all of the things in your kit that you need. So my in-person event is actually the trial to make sure that I have everything all organized. All right. So I've got many of these dies and they're everywhere, because I've been using these dies and I absolutely love them. And hang on, and I sort them out a little bit here so that they look a little bit neater than just the big pile that's been thrown in here. So, of course, we've got nesting dies, which are gorgeous. So we have all of these nesting dies that nest inside each other, and we have all of these as well. So you can see it's a massive set of dies, which is fantastic. And I think the dies alone you will use in your craft room time and time again. I always love a set of nesting dies, because it's great to be able to layer up. It's great to be able to cut all different layers in different colors and be able to layer them up. So it is really an awesome set of dies. Lorraine says, I'm interested in coming, as is a friend of mine. Well, Lorraine, honestly, my suggestion is mark the dates in your calendar, and registration is open now. So the registration for my 2-day craft retreat for July is actually in the description of this video, or it's also, in the show more box down below on YouTube. And it's also in the description of this video if you're watching on Facebook. Now, this suite is a gorgeous suite of products, and can be found on page 60 and 61 of our catalog. It's called Poetic Expressions. Now, you can actually buy the whole suite. When you buy the whole suite, what you get is the Thoughtful Expressions stamp set. You also get these gorgeous embellishments, and I just remembered, I think my embellishments are out in my craft studio, so I won't be able to use them today, but I will use them throughout the week this week. And this gorgeous paper, I'm going to use a gorgeous paper this morning as well. But I can tell you, as I said, the dies are superb, and there's a picture of all the dies down the bottom here as well. So it's actually a gorgeous set. So I'm super excited to be crafting with it this week. Now, of course, I'm just going to case a card that Stampin' Up have created, and the design team with Stampin' Up are absolutely awesome. They create some gorgeous cards, and they have them in our catalog, and it's always a great starting point. I always find for people that are struggling with design, struggling with creativity, I always think it's a great thing to actually start by just looking in the catalog and seeing what they have available in the catalog and starting from scratch. just there, casing and copying something that they have in the catalog and then moving on after that. So I will be casing the catalog this morning to a certain extent, but we will change it up just a little bit because I do have a couple of things that I didn't realize that are still out in my craft studio. So anyway, but we will move on no matter what. So welcome everybody. I can see Sue, you've joined. Welcome. Deborah, welcome. Nice for you to come. Marilyn, welcome. It's lovely to see you. All right, so let's get started on this card. So I've got some color combinations here. I've got some moody mauve. I've also got some soft sea foam, and I've got just some basic white. So aren't those colors, who would have thought that moody mauve and soft sea foam go together? But they do. They complement each other so well, and I thought it was a lovely color combination. And I'm actually going to add a little bit of Daffodil Delight in with it as well. All right, so we're going to do a nice, beautiful, soft pastel looking card. I'm also going to use the, I think it's called the Distressed Tile. I don't know. Someone tell me what this embossing folder is called. I think it's called Distressed Tile. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, so as you can see, gorgeous dies. So let's bring in, I'm going to make a card base. Now, hang on. What did I do with my paper trimmer this morning? As you can tell, everything is everywhere. Now I need to replace the blades. I had this paper trimmer because we had a project that we needed some old blades to use because we were cutting the chipboard, you know, the board that's in the back of your designer series paper, your specialty paper. We were cutting that. So I actually made sure that I had some old blades to do that. And I'm just going to get rid of all the paper buildup that would be in there with my take your pick tool. Okay, so I do apologize for that, but I do have my old original blade here that I'm hoping is, sorry, my good blade that I'm hoping is still good. Interested to see what I create with this set. You're on the fence to whether you want it, Marlene. Well, I'm telling you, you're probably going to want it. Most purples and greens look great together. Yeah. So anyway, I decided that I would go with the soft sea foam and the moody mauve together. So I'm going to cut my card base at 5 3/4 inches, and I'm going to turn it around and cut it at 8 inches. Now, on the weekend, we had a little bit of controversy because I do share the designing process of my retreat with one of my very good friends, Courtney Houston, from down the Central Coast. And Courtney cuts her cardstock, her sheets of cardstock just in half. And that's actually how she does her card bases. I always cut mine at 5 3/4 by 8. So thank you, Lynn. Lynn's telling me that it is the Distressed Tile embossing folder. I thought that's what the name was, but I was like, this morning when I went to jump on, I thought I didn't even check to see what that was, but it's all good. All right, so I'm going to do Moody Mauve as my card base. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm changing this up a little bit. I am casing one of the cards, but I wanted to change it up a little bit because I wanted to add a few extra layers of things in behind. So I'm going to do a soft sea foam layer that is cut at 5 1/2 by 3 3/4. And then I think I'm going to do a moody mauve layer that I will cut at 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. And that's actually going to be my layer that's going to go in on top of the soft sea foam. So I want them to layer up. We're going to have just a really, really small border, but it's going to give me a peek through of the soft sea foam in behind that moody mauve on my front of my card. Now, also too, I don't actually know whether they've got an embossed layer, but I'm going to emboss. I don't actually know whether the catalog had an embossed layer, but I'm going to emboss the layer. So I'm actually going to emboss my moody mauve layer. So I'll do that in a minute. Now I wanted to bring in this gorgeous, gorgeous paper that goes with this suite. Now this is the Poetic Expressions, and I have used some of this paper. This is the Poetic Expressions paper. So we've got gorgeous patterns. We've got wild wheat, we have our Lost Lagoon on the back side. We have our, I think it's boho blue. And we've got our bubble bath. And that's the other one that I just showed. We've got Mossy Meadow and Lost Lagoon. And we've got Wild Wheat with bubble bath. You probably can't see the bubble bath in there, but there is some bubble bath in behind there. We have Mossy Meadow and our boho blue. And then we've got this gorgeous, gorgeous Moody Mauve pattern on the back. Then we've got this one here, which is absolutely stunning as well. This is Moody Mauve as well with our boho blue on the back. And I can't quite see from my picture. Oh, I do know. Yeah, okay. So same thing. And that's just a repeat of the other ones that I've already showed you. So I think I'm going to take, I think it's this piece that they've done as a piece that actually goes across our card. So I'm going to do it at the full width of my card layer, which is going to be 5.5. So let's bring in that again. I'm going to do 5.5 this way. Actually, I might do, yeah, no, I might do 5 3/8. Now, as far as the size, so we've got 3 3/4. I think I might do it at 3 inches. We'll see what 3 inches looks like. And if I need to go smaller, I will. But I think 3 inches might do it. So we've got this gorgeous Moody Mauve look that's going to go across our layer just like that. And I think that's going to be enough. Yep, I think that will be fine. All right. So let's bring in, and I also want to do something with a bit of white. So I'm going to cut a layer, an insert for the inside of my card. So I'm going to do 5.5 by 3 3/4 for the inside. Oh, Sue, well, please find me at Onstage. Sue just said that she's going to Onstage for the first time. Please, oh no, sorry. It's Julie Farrington saying she's going to Onstage for her first time. And also, Sue, please find me at Onstage and come up so I can put a face to the name. All right, so we have that, and then I've got a scrap piece that I'm going to use for my die cut, and then I'm probably going to use this scrap piece here as well for some stamping. All right, so let's get this piece here. I'm going to do my embossing first, and then we will work out what die we're going to use for our label. All right, so I'm going to bring in the cut and emboss machine, and of course, for embossing and a 3D embossing folder, we're going to use base plate number 1. We're going to use our number 4, which is going to be our plate, and we're going to add our Moody Mauve layer. I'm sure that was my Moody Mauve layer. When I was getting my cut and emboss, I left. Yes, that is my layer. All right, so I'm just going to emboss that one. All right. You've got blue hair, Julie? Really? Someone's colored your hair? All right. So let's roll that through. So now I've got base plate number 1. I've got my embossing folder with my Stampin' Up emblem facing up. And I've also got my number 4 plate that's going to go over the top. And I've got my fold of my embossing folder going through the machine first. And I'm only going to go in one direction. You do not go back with your embossing folders. You just go in one direction and roll it through. Now, our cut and emboss machine is so awesome. It just glides through. It's so wonderful to use. And of course, we now have this gorgeous embossed layer. Okay, so that's using that distressed tile, and that's actually going to adhere onto our soft seafoam layer. All right, so let's actually get that glued on first. The older kids dared you to color your hair, Julie. Well, you obviously took up the dare. Now, I just spilt some of my glue on my desk, which I'm just going to wipe that off with a paper towel. All right. So we have our glue on our Moody Mauve layer, and we're just going to adhere that onto our soft seafoam layer. So we've got a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. So it's a very, very small, minute border. But I actually love that real fine border. It just gives, like when you pop it onto that Moody Mauve base, you'll see that it just gives that, it brings out that layer, shows that we have a layer there, and it really brings it out, which is really, really good. So then, of course, this is going to be a horizontal card. And then this piece is going to glue onto here. So now what we need to do is we need to work out what size layer we're going to do this one. Are we going to do it that? I think that's probably the layer that we're going to do. So I'm going to cut that out just with my cut and emboss. So I'm just going to bring that in. So as I said, casing things out of the catalog is a really, really great way of getting that crafty inspiration, like getting the the creative juices flowing. I always find that it's the best way to get yourself started with a bundle. Also, jumping onto Google Images or Pinterest, like it's always so good to just type in Stampin' Up and the name of the bundle, and so many different projects come up. So when you're struggling for inspiration, please, the internet is your best friend, because we as demonstrators, we pop all of our photos and things on the internet, and we are so happy for people to look up our projects and to case our projects, because that's what it's all about, sharing our crafting with others. That is what it's all about. All right, so we have that ready for the front piece here. Okay. Now, the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to stamp some of these gorgeous hummingbirds, and we're also going to stamp some of the flowers as well. So let me grab this here. So we're going to, and I do apologize, I haven't used this stamp a lot, so I haven't used the bird, so I'm going to have to mount the bird up on its sticker. Haven't used the bird, but I have used the flowers, so we've got those on a sticker. I have used the sentiment, "You mean the world to me," which is what I need to use. Okay, and of course the flowers. Oh, and the leaves. We need that one there. That one there. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use this one. These little flowers. Okay, so I've got a couple of things that I've got to put some stickers on. So just bear with me while I do that. I'm going to show you the great, fantastic way of being able to put your stickers on your stamps, and the easy way. And I was showing people at my retreat on the weekend. Oh, did you say hello to Sue for me, Daryl? Daryl's gone to see the lovely lady at the newsagents, and that's Sue is my team member. Sue has put Daryl on to watching me, told him to get out and watch me. And she is lovely, Sue. She's a very lovely lady. She's been a very good friend of mine, Daryl, for many years. Many years. My kids and her kids went to school together, and they also played sport together. They also played hockey together. So what I do to get these stamps, these stickers on the back of my stamps, I fold back that backing sheet. I then pop it onto my block and stick it directly onto my block, pull the backing sheet off, and I've taken the backing off my stamp. And then what you do is you just pop your stamp like that, and you just hover over the top, and you can physically line up that sticker perfectly each and every time, and it's on your block ready to go. Okay, so we've done that. We've got to do the bird. Got to do the bird. All right, so let's grab a block for the bird. So once again, I'm going to just pull back that backing sheet off the stamp so that I can grab that when I put it on my block. So you peel both sides back and just fold them back like that. Then pull the whole entire stamp up and pop the stamp onto your block. I think it's going to fit that way. There like that. So we've got the hummingbird on our block ready to go. And then what I do is I turn it over and just line up my stamp. Sorry, I'll get it up here so you can see. I just line up my stamp on my block. Sorry, onto the stamp, and bam, we're done. All right, so we've got those on. So I do apologize that I didn't have my stickers on the stamp. I had them on partially some of the stamps and some not. All right, so let's pop that into the bin. All right. Now, I am going to have a bit of a change up of my free class this week, the time that I'm going to hold my free class this week. I normally hold it at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon, but I do actually have to take a friend of mine to an appointment, so I can't actually do it at 5 o'clock. So I am actually going to do it at about 9:30 tomorrow morning, and 9:30 will be after I've done a little bit of business training with some ladies. I will then jump on and do my free live class. And my live class this week will be using this awesome Thoughtful Expressions kit. So you'll be able to earn your kit for free if you purchase $100 or more through my online store. Okay, so let's do some of this stamping. So the first thing what I want to do is I want to stamp the bird, the hummingbird. I want to stamp that in our soft sea foam. So I'm just going to ink up that bird in soft sea foam, and we're going to stamp that bird just up there because we'll have room to be able to cut him out. So we're going to stamp him in our soft sea foam. I'm then going to take some of my Wink of Stella and I'm just going to colour in. I might actually even pick up some of that soft sea foam just to add a little bit more colour, which I will. So Wink of Stella is fantastic for colouring. So I'm just going to squeeze some of my Wink of Stella in. Sorry, squeeze some of my soft sea foam in there. I'm just going to pick up some of that soft sea foam and I'm just going to add a little bit more colour to my hummingbird. So just where the shaded pieces are, I'm just going to add a little bit more colour just to those shaded pieces. So on the wings, just to add a little bit more extra depth to that gorgeous hummingbird. And maybe a little bit just around his head. Okay, so as you can see, that's just bought that soft sea foam. It's just made it a little bit more obvious. All right, so we have that done. Okay, the next thing that we need to stamp is a couple of the leaf images. So these ones here, we need to stamp a couple of those so that we can cut them out. So let's do that in soft sea foam as well. So we'll stamp one down here. We'll stamp another one over here. So I'm using up my scrap paper, which is really good. We will pick up some of that soft sea foam again out of our ink pad here. Good morning, Denise. Welcome. Sandra, welcome. 5:30 in the evening for you there, Sandra. Well, welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit in the flowers and a little bit extra on the leaves, just to add a little bit of depth in the leaves. Not a lot, but just to add a little bit more color onto those stamped images. So with our flowers and a little tiny bit on the leaves, but just to add a little bit more extra color. And then you just run your Wink of Stella clear onto a scrap piece. All right. Yes, good luck with your lotto. I mean, we're all trying to win that infamous lotto, aren't we? I don't play. I only played the big 200 million. And I think I played, I don't know, I had a bit of a habit there for a couple of weeks, couple of ones after that, and that was it. All right, so we're going to grab our dies to cut that out. So we've got a die to cut that one out. We've also got a die to cut that one out. So we'll run those through a couple of times. I was just wondering where my washi tape is. So I could stick some washi tape on there so that they don't move. So one of the things when you're die cutting, it's quite good to just have some washi tape on hand that you're able to just pop a little bit of washi tape on, and that just holds your dies in place and stops you worrying about whether they're going to move while you pop it through the die cutting machine. So sometimes just a little bit of washi tape on there is a great way to, and just be careful when you do it because you don't want it to pull up your stamp images. So I'm going to grab another scrap of paper. Actually, I'm going to get a smaller scrap. There we go. I have another smaller scrap here. So I want to stamp the flowers now, and I'm going to stamp the flowers. I'm still going to stamp the flowers, I think, in, no, I might just stamp them in Moody Mauve, actually. Let's just do that. I'll stamp them in Moody Mauve. Okay, so I'm going to ink up. No, I'm going to stamp them. Sorry, I'm changing my mind here. I'm going to stamp them in Soft Sea Foam and then colour with Moody Mauve. So we need a couple of flowers. And I'm then going to colour, I don't know whether I need 3. I think I only need 2, but I'm going to colour those with my Moody Mauve and my Wink of Stella. Okay. So I'm just going to, with my Moody Mauve, pop a bit of, oh, I've already got some in there, so that's all right. So let's just pick up some of that Moody Mauve, and we're going to colour our flowers with the Moody Mauve. So we're just going to add some Moody Mauve into here. Now, when you pick up your Moody Mauve with your Wink of Stella, start at the inside of your petals and work your way out to the outside, because when you start at your inside petals, that's where the most concentrate of your color is going to be. So if you start at the inside and work out, then you're going to get that nice shading of it looking darker in the middle than what it is compared to the outside. So I'm keeping clear of that center of the flower because I'm going to do that in a different color. So I'm just going to put some deeper Moody Mauve. I was being a bit timid with that first one. I think I'm going to add a bit extra color. And the idea is to make sure, because color doesn't move very much on our basic white cardstock, so you need to just make sure that you get in there and move it around as quick as you can. But that's actually given a little bit more color to the inside of the flower. So I'm going to go back with our Moody Mauve and add a little bit more in here to this one so that we get a little bit more of that coloring happening. Okay. There we go. So we've got some nice coloring happening there. I'm going to run my brush free, and then I'm going to grab my Soft Sea Foam and I'm going to add some color just to the center of the leaves. So I'm just going to go up the center of the leaves and out a little bit just to get a little bit more depth into those leaves. So up the center and out a little bit, and that's it. Up the center, whoops, pick some up. Up the center and out a little bit just to get a bit of depth in those leaves. Same thing with that little one, like that. And that's about all I'm going to do for the color. All right, so I'm going to run that free. I've got a scrap piece of paper over the side here that I just run it free, and then it goes back to clear again. So perfect coloring tool to use your Wink of Stella. The suite is called Poetic Expressions, Jenny. Okay, now, oh, sorry, I'm going to do the centers. I forgot. I'm going to do the centers with my Daffodil Delight. Yeah. I'm just going to squeeze my Daffodil Delight. Oh, squeeze it a bit better than that. Okay. Ah, it's not wanting to. Oh, it's being tough. Oh, I got a little bit. I don't have enough muscles this morning, but there is enough there to get in the middle. So we're going to do a bit of yellow in the middle of our flowers. Okay, and that just brings the flowers to life, don't you think? Little bit of Daffodil Delight. Oh my God, your sister went on a hot air balloon ride yesterday. I would have loved, honestly, I was going to do that for my daughter's 21st, but it was going to cost us nearly $1,000. And I was like, don't quite have that money to do that for the two of us. It was, well, when I say $1,000, it was about $400 each for us to go. And it was for a 2-hour ride. So I was like, nah. I mean, I'm assuming that the insurances are pretty high and that's probably why it costs so much, but okay, so we've got a couple of those ready to bring in for our die cutting machine. So let's bring in the cut and emboss again. And we'll run those through. I have to run it through a second time to get my second flower and my second leaf image, but that's okay. So we will do that way for those ones. We'll do that way for those ones. Actually, we can probably go like that for both. Yep, we can. Okay, so let's grab those onto our plate and ready to go. And the washi tape's going to help hold those in place for us so that we get a good, well, I thought the washi tape was going to hold it in place until that one decided to move. I didn't press it on real hard. Okay, so washi tape on there. Oop, to hold it in place. All right, so let's run those through. So we've got our number 1 plate, our number 2 plate, our number 3 plate underneath, our cardstock, our dies, and then our number 3 plate on top. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Okay, so we have that. I don't know why I was going to take the machine away. So we have one of our flowers there. Now you have to be really careful with the washi tape when you've got it on stamped images because it sometimes wants to pull up your cardstock because your cardstock has been moistened a little bit. So I'm just going to pull that up and then that one's going to stick onto there. So we'll have that one ready to go. Right there like that. Okay, so let's grab our hummingbird. Carefully pull our hummingbird out. There. Our little leaf image. There. Okay, and then of course we don't need the hummingbird again, but we do need that leaf image for over there. So let's grab our plates back up again. So we've got our flower ready to go. And we've got our leaf image over here that we need to do. So we'll pop that on like that. Okay. All right. We are good to go there and there. All right. Let's pop a plate back on. And we will have our die cuts all done. Hey, Kayla. Good morning. How are you? All right. So we have that. I'll pop my die back on my sheet. And we have our little leaf. Yes, Wink of Stella. Kayla's saying Wink of Stella is great for colouring, and it is. It's a fantastic tool. And it's great for if you don't have blends and things. It's a great alternative for you to be able to colour without breaking the bank and purchasing a whole heap of blends. If you don't have blends, it's a great alternative to start off with. So, and you can still get some gorgeous shading and things with it. All right, so now in the sample in the catalogue, it had this gorgeous, gorgeous natural, well, I think it's just called, natural wavy trim. Isn't it stunning? Jenny, Daryl is from Casino, from my old hometown. Oh, well, not my old hometown, but nearly my old hometown. I was living in Casino for a little while with Mum and Dad. It's where my mum and dad live. From the Northern Rivers. All right, so I'm going to adhere that designer series paper onto that Moody Mauve layer. So because I've actually cut it the same size as the Moody Mauve, we're still getting that sneaking color, that pop of color in behind there. And that's actually what I wanted to do. I wanted to still have that gorgeous pop of color all the way around. All right. So with the wavy trim, I'm actually going to adhere from the back. I'm going to pop a bit of Seal Plus on both ends, and I'm going to adhere my wavy trim into that Seal Plus, and then I can wrap it around. So I'm just going to eyeball the center of the card and wrap that around. I just had a worry then that I didn't have scissors in my drawer. Everything from the weekend. I mean, like, I've unpacked some things, but most things from the weekend are still packed in 3 big, large plastic boxes that are in my garage. I just got them out of the car and put them down beside the car, and that's as far as they got. So I'm going to fold my card base in half, and I'm going to burnish with my bone folder. So once again, this is a Moody Mauve card base. I'm going to pop up this layer so that we get a little bit of dimension happening. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals and pop that up. Hi, Kathy from Canada. Welcome. You are getting some really cold weather over there in Canada, aren't you? I know I've got a friend of mine, and I was looking, and she said about how the winter has really, they had a very cold, chilly day and had lots of snow, but she's from Calgary. So she's, yeah, right in the thick of the snow, I think, by the look of it. Okay, so we've got some dimensionals on there. And I have no idea what I did with my Take Your Pick tool after cleaning out my paper trimmer with it. There it is, underneath the stamp set that's sitting to the side of me here. All right, so with my handy dandy Take Your Pick tool, I'm going to twist. I'm going to poke and twist, and it sounds like a dance, doesn't it? Poke and twist. But this is a great way of collecting those pesky little dimensional backings and getting them all in one little pile. Okay. I actually had Daryl saying about haven't seen any snakes here. I had a snake down the side of my house. I locked myself out of my house one day, and I was trying to work out, because when you lock yourself, I have my side gate. So I'm just going to hover that above there and pop it down onto the front there like that. So I've got it nice and even and ready to go. Yeah, I was trying to work out my escape out of the backyard, because I've got 2 gates that are locked at the side of the house. So I was trying to work out whether I could jump over the gate. And I'm worrying about jumping over the gate. And when I got there, I was like, well, this body isn't as young as it used to be, and there's no way I'm going to be able to jump over that gate. So I turned around to come back to try and work out what my next plan of escape was to get out of the backyard so that I could go and get someone to help me get into my house. And as I've turned around, here's a brown snake right near my hot water system. So I can tell you it gave me a little bit of a fright. And the thing that I was worried about was the fact that I walked past it and I didn't even know that I had walked past it. So there you go. Where in the world would I be without you? So we're going to stamp that. Where in the world would I be without you on our beautiful die cut. Now, I mean, these die cuts, I think they can go just about any way. I don't think it would matter which way you actually put them, but I'm just going to eyeball it that I think I've got it sitting. I don't think it would matter, but all right. So I'm just going to stamp that over to the left-hand side. Where in the world would I be without you? What a lovely sentiment. So I've done that one in Moody Mauve. All right. I'm then going to pop that up onto the front of my card. So I'm just going to do that with some dimensionals now. Okay. Well, Lorraine, I was actually thinking that. Lorraine said, oh my goodness, that would have given me the incentive to jump the gate. I was actually thinking that. And the worst part was I was thinking, oh my God, to get back around the other side, I'm going to have to go past this snake. I tell you what, there was a hop, skip, and a jump in my step. I can tell you. I was like, but you know, isn't it funny that you actually walk past something and don't even know that you've walked past it? And then when you know you have to walk back past it, it was like, we had a snake inside the house once. I tried to grab it, and luckily it fell into my daughter's laptop bag, so I was able to drag it outside. Wow, Janice, you are a much braver person than me. There is no way that I would have done that. Kayla is in Tasmania. She's like, oh my God, we got snakes everywhere. Tigers, copperheads, brown snakes. They're all deadly here. There was a tiger snake at the end of the street the other day. You need to watch your dogs, Kayla, with those snakes. Like, that's a scary, scary thought with the dogs. All right, so I'm just going to pop that one. So I've got some dimensionals on there. I'm just going to pop that over the top there. And now it's just a case of us embellishing with these gorgeous embellishments that we have here. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a little knot. So I'm going to thread my twisted rope. I'm going to thread that in underneath the one that I've put around like that. Okay, and I'm just going to tie it in a knot. So there's no bow happening here. It's just going to be a knot. So just a basic knot. I'm just going to tie it like that so that we've got a basic knot happening, and then just cut it off. Okay, so we've got our basic little knot happening. Now, how you tighten your knot is where it's going to stay. Okay, so it was going that way. I just then turned and pulled it and then tightened that way, and then that makes my knot go up that way. If I was pulling it that way, my knot's going to sit that way. So it depends on how you tighten your knot is which direction your knot's going to sit. Okay. All right, so we've got that. I'm going to get rid of that ink pad so I don't end up getting ink all over me. All right, so now we're going to embellish with some of these gorgeous embellishments. So we have two of the leafy parts. So I always like to do a bit of a dry run. It's nice to do a dry run and just see where they're going to sit. And then we've got some gorgeous flowers that are going to go up on top here as well. Okay. So how awesome is that? I might move them over there a little bit. How awesome is that? How pretty does that look? Isn't it stunning? All right, so I'm just going to, I actually need to move my knot a little bit. So let's see if I can move that knot along. I've tightened it up. I may not be able to move it along. I could. There we go. If we move the knot a little bit, we've got more room to pop our flowers out here and keep our embellishments out this way. All right. So one of the things, and this actually came up at the retreat, about how in the world do I put all these embellishments on? Where do I start? So normally what I do is I have a plan. I always look at, I do a dry run. I always look at where I'm going to put them, and I'm missing a pointer fingernail, and I'm struggling really hard with trying to pick things up without that pointer fingernail there. All right, so normally what I do is I like to do a little bit of a dry run and see where they're going to sit so I can get them sitting how I want them to sit. And then what I do is I work from the bottom up, okay? So when I say I work from the bottom up, I look at how I've got them all sitting there, and you can see that these two leaves here are right at the very bottom. Then we've got our hummingbird, and then we've got our two flowers on top. So what you need to do is take the top embellishments off, adhere your bottom ones first, and then pop them in. You could alternatively put the hummingbird on there and then tuck the others in, but I always like to actually start from the base and work my way up. So I'm just going to take those three things off because these are the leaves that I need to adhere first. So I'm actually going to use a little bit of Seal Plus and just pop some Seal Plus on the back there, and then that one is actually just going to sit up the top just like that. And this one here, I'm going to pop some Seal Plus on that, and he's just going to sit down there going along that curve of that gorgeous die cut. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my hummingbird up now. So I'm just going to sit my hummingbird where I want him to be so that his beak, actually, you know what? This one here needs to be tilted out a little bit. So I'm just going to turn that and tilt it out that way a little bit so it's not interrupting with the wings, okay? So we want that to be able to come out that we can still see it in behind the wings, all right? So I'm now going to pop that hummingbird up on dimensionals. And I'm just going to put the dimensionals just on the hummingbird's body. I'm not going to worry about anything else. 2 dimensionals is going to be enough. It's going to allow my wings to fly free, which is really, really, I love when I've got embellishments to allow the wings. I could curl those wings up a little bit and get them to look like the wings are really flapping. So I'm just going to pop my hummingbird right there like that. Okay. So it's looking super, super cute. And now is just a point of popping our flowers in. So the first flower I'm going to pop in is this one here, but I'm just going to pop a dimensional directly onto my card base right there, because that's where I want that flower to sit. So I want it to be nice and level with the sentiment layer that we've already popped up. And I'm just going to pop it just in there like that. And the other flower we're going to pop just up. Hang on, I want to pop this one, leaves coming down. Turn it around and leaves coming down this way. Okay, in there, like that. Okay, that's how we need it. And then this one is then going to pop up, coming up through that way there. Okay, so we're just going to add a dimensional on the middle at the back. And that one we're going to just pop in beside that hummingbird with our leaves pointing up that way. Now, isn't that just a super stunning layout? Like, honestly, it is gorgeous. Very, very subtle in the color, but absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm actually going to use my in-color dots on this one. I would normally have liked to have used my my gems that go with the suite, but as I said, they're actually not here. Let me see if I've got more of the in-color mauve ones on this. Yes, I've got more on there. Okay, I've got some there, but I want to use some large and some small. So I'm just going to use the in-color dots, and these are the 2023, 2025 in-color dots. And we've got the Moody Mauve there because Moody Mauve is one of our colors. So I'm just going to add some of these gorgeous dots, and sometimes it's best with these ones because they're so big to get your spatula in underneath. I've glued that one to there. Let me grab this one over here. These ones, I struggle with these. I think I need to get the edge in underneath. Let me try this way. Oh, look, there's the edge. There. Okay, we've got it. We've got it. Okay, I'm going to pop one there. I'm going to pop a medium one, which maybe I can get the medium one off here. The struggle is real this morning, people. Okay, a Moody Mauve one there. And then I think I want to do a little one popped up. Maybe just there. I want to do a few of these little ones around, I think. We'll pop another one down here. And I think I'll pop another one just over. These dots are gorgeous because they're quite flat. Like, if you can see, they're super, super flat. So when you're actually using them to embellish your cards, they're super flat. So they're great. They don't create a fair bit of bulkiness, but it doesn't matter because I've put a fair bit of bulkiness on here anyway with all the dimensionals. But if you're trying to keep your embellishments nice and flat, then the in-color dots are really, really good for that because they do actually keep it nice and flat. All right, so I think what I'm going to do for the insert, so we've got a piece of our basic white here ready for our insert. So I think I'm going to actually use the larger flower. And I'm just going to stamp one of the larger flowers just down in that bottom corner and color like we did before. So I'm going to use my soft sea foam. All right, so soft sea foam, and we're just going to add that gorgeous flower arrangement just down in that bottom part for the inside. And we're going to grab our Wink of Stella again, and we're going to color those flowers. So I think I'm going to use the yellow to start off with. I'm going to do the yellow centers. So just with my Wink, picking up a bit of that color. Whoa, and I didn't clean it after the green, so that's a mistake on my part there. So let's pick up the yellow there now. We'll do the middle with the yellow. So that's with Daffodil Delight. Bit of daffodil in the middle. Okay, run it clear. I didn't realize I hadn't done that with my soft sea foam. All right, so we're going to run it clear. Then we're going to do our Moody Mauve again. All right, bit of Moody Mauve, and we're going to go in the centers of those flowers to start off with. Where the lined images are, Stampin' Up! Do the hard work for us. They show us where to put that shading, which is really, really good. And then picking up some of the light color just to color those petals out further. But as I said, Wink of Stella is really your best friend when it comes to, if you don't have any coloring mediums and you want to be able to color some stamps, Wink of Stella can do it for you. So for the cost of, I think Wink is about $17.50 to buy. I think maybe I'm wrong. I don't really look at the prices of things. I know that sounds horrible, but if there's a crafting product out there that I need, I just need it. Is anyone else the same? I just need it. I'm like, it doesn't matter what the price is. I need it. So I do tend to not really look at the price. But anyway, okay. So if someone else knows how much it is, tell me. It may only be about $11.50 or $12.50. I may be wrong. All right. So I'm now going to grab the soft sea foam. And we're going to add the soft sea foam just in the center of the leaf. So making sure I've got my Wink clear. And then I'm just going to add a little bit in those leaves. And it brings the whole lot of the leaves to life, I think, when you add that darker color just in the middle of them. Just adds a little bit of depth and makes them look super, super pretty. Okay, and then I'm just going to pick up a little bit and just color some of those leaves out further. A little bit of the lighter one, pick up some and color those out further. All right, so there we have. See, Lynn's with me. Price is no object for craft items. Hey, Suzanne. Hello, welcome. Lovely to see you've jumped on. All right, so we've got our center done. Of course, we want to spritz, so I'm going to actually probably spritz before I pop that centerpiece in. So I'm just going to spritz. Wow, I did a really nice big squeeze of that Wink of Stella into my lid. But I squeeze into the barrel, into the lid, and then I just spritz it. And it just gives a gorgeous shimmer and shine. I'm going to try and hold that so you can see. Look at that Wink of Stella. Isn't it? It's simply glorious. I actually had, I think it was Lorraine that was on here. She said, I think it was Lorraine, or it could have even been Jill. Like, you've totally sold me on the Wink of Stella. I need that. And I mean, I don't think I do a Wink of Stella. I don't think I do a card without Wink of Stella. Like, honestly, it's just, everything's got to have that glitzy shimmer and shine. And a bow. Although this morning I didn't do a bow. So I did a knot instead of a bow. So that's very unlike me. But there you go. That is my take on the card that they have in the catalog, or on our website anyway, of this gorgeous, beautiful, thoughtful expressions. Now, as I said, the dies alone in this set, and I'm going to bring in, I've got them in a bit of a mess here again, but the dies alone in this set are definitely worth a look. So if you have overlooked this set, then please, by all means, get out your catalogs. As I said, it was on page 60 and 61 and 62. Get out your catalogs and have a look, because these are absolutely fantastic sets of dies. They nest in together. Now, I haven't even nested anything this morning. All we've done is done one label on the front there. But when you want to nest them in together, you could do I could have done a soft sea foam layer in behind in the next layer up, and then I could have even done a Moody Mauve layer with the next layer up after that. $14. Well, thank you. There you go. Wink of Stella, $14. But as you can see, a gorgeous card. The Wink of Stella just gives it that beautiful, beautiful, stunning glimmer and shine. So as you can see, I can tell you, you are going to want these dies. I am telling you, you're going to want the whole set. But I mean, you're going to want the dies for sure. They're going to be a staple in your craft room that I'm sure that you will not be disappointed when you purchase the bundle. So as I said, you can find the bundle on page 60, 61, and it might be 59, 60, and 61. But you can jump on my online store. As you can see up in there, there's a QR code right there. See that QR code? If you go and use that QR code, that will take you straight to my online store, and you can shop anything through my online store. And I would really appreciate if you wanted to shop for your craft supplies with me. That really helps me with my business. If you haven't liked and subscribed to my YouTube channel or liked and subscribed to my Facebook business page, please feel free to like and subscribe. Give me the thumbs up. If you absolutely love what I did, please give me the thumbs up. YouTube and Facebook love it when you give us the thumbs up. And thank you for hanging out with me with my crafty session this morning. So as I said, I will actually be on live at 9:30 tomorrow morning with my online class, which is a free online class that I do every week. I always do a different suite every week. But if you purchase $100 or more using my host code for the week, you will actually get a card kit to make the 3 cards that I actually create in my card class tomorrow. So I will be happy to jump on live with you again tomorrow morning at 9:30, and I will be live Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning at 8 a.m. here in my craft room. So thank you very much for hanging out with me, and have a lovely day, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye for now.